Namaste, welcome friends. Thank you so much for giving me your time. In this lesson, you are going to learn about Dinacarya. Dinacarya refers to daily routines and regimens that help us to preserve our health. Of all the things that I came across by studying Ayurveda, this is my absolute favorite topic, and I'm so looking forward to share it with you. Simple adjustments in our lifestyle, simple adjustments in our timing can make a huge impact in our life. And many diseases that are present today can be avoided just by following this Dinacarya. If you are already a healthy person, don't worry. If you follow this, your energy levels are going to explode. Your concentration is going to spike so much. So in this lesson, we're going to cover how the doshas move through the day. We're going to explore how time is cyclical. And we have the small time periods, those minor cycles every day. We have the bigger cycles of the seasons, and we also have a greater cycle in our lifetime from birth to death. And all of them are connected to the doshas, to the elements. And if we align our activities with this quality of time, then we'll have a peaceful life, we'll have an easier life. Every cycle can be divided in 3 phases. There is a beginning phase, there is a middle phase, and there's a final phase before we go back to the beginning. Now these 3 phases can be categorized like the doshas. Everything begins with kapha. Everything peaks in pitta, and everything ends in vata. For example, in our life, babies, that's the beginning of life. They have a lot of kapha, a lot of earth and water. This is why they have like these big cheeks, and we can just squish them, and they're like soft and oily, and that's why they have so much love. That's why they get so attached to their mother, because of this kapha dosha that's so strong in them. That's also why they're more susceptible to its allergies, especially in the spring season, because that's a kapha season. Then once puberty starts, until about age 50, we have pitta season, which is the middle. The middle of anything is always pitta. This is the time when we get a lot of things done. There's fire, transformation. It's very external part of our life. We are achieving all our accomplishments. We're competing with others, always trying to get one step ahead. And everything ends with vata. Especially after age 50, we can see vata doshas coming in. Air and space element. Air means separation. We start living a little bit more isolated lives, more separate lives from others. We start aging, our body gets colder, our body dries up. We have the space element, which means we can tune into the ether, the higher frequency of this world. We start reflecting about who am I, where do I come from, how is everything connected. And then after we leave this body, just unavoidable. Again, most of us, we take birth again, we become a baby, and then kapha, pitta, vata. Kapha, pitta, vata, again and again. This is the broader cycle of human life. We speak a little bit more about it later. Then there's also the same cycle in the duration of a year. The year, it usually starts with spring. Spring is a kapha season. It is astrologically, it's the time of Venus. Venus, she learned the Mahamrityunjaya mantra from Lord Shiva to revive the deaf. So in spring, all the deaf, all the trees and all the plants which have been covered in snow in some parts of the world, all the animals that have been sleeping, they're getting revived, they come back. And it's a kapha season, there's a lot of moisture in the air, there's love in the atmosphere, everything is a bit more wet and rich and oily. And then what comes after spring, there's summer season. So summer, it is hot, a lot of fire, it is more dry, it is sharp and penetrating. And summer, it goes into autumn or winter. autumn and early winter, they have this Vata energy. Vata, it is cold. It is even drier than summer. It's that cold in winter. At least in summer there is some water, right? We're sweating and sweating, but in winter, in autumn, it is just cold and dry. And often many trees, they lose their leaves and they're falling. There's this mobile quality of air. And then again, after some time, we'll have spring. After winter comes spring. So this same cycle, we can see it in every part of the world, even though some places have 4 seasons, some have 3, some have 6. Pune only has 2 seasons, right? Summer and rain. But in general, we can see in a greater or lesser degree the same cycle, the same cyclic movement of the doshas. Everything has a beginning, middle, and end, which is kapha, pitta, and then vata. And we can see this in the broader frame of our life. We can see this in the development of the year. And we can also see that in the development of a single day. Every day also. It has a beginning, a middle, and the end. And it begins with sunrise. The day begins with sunrise. Yeah, you've been cheated and you might be thinking the day begins at midnight. The day does not begin at midnight, okay? Midnight is still the previous day. It's the middle of the night, yeah? The day starts at sunrise. So that is the kapha portion. In the morning, if you go out in the grass, there's moisture, there's dew on the grass, there's this wetness, people are moving more slow, it's a very earthy and grounding time. It's the foundation of the day, right? Those first few hours after sunrise, that's when we build the foundation for the day. It's a kapha time. Then in the middle, we have a pitta time again. In the middle, when the sun is the highest, it's hot, right? This is when we eat the biggest meal of our day. That is pitta season. Approximately from 10 to 2 o'clock. And then the day ends again with vata. From 2 o'clock until sunset, let's say at 6 o'clock, that is vata time. People are moving quite quickly in the afternoon. We are more creative. We are more drawn to our hobbies. There can be more wind in the afternoon as well. Sometimes we might see that. This is the vata time in the afternoon. We connect with our friends, we connect with people that we know, the space element comes in. So every day has a beginning, a middle, and the end. And the night has that too. Once the sun sets, the first portion of the night, it is a kapha time period. That's right after the sun sets. Kapha comes, earth and water, we get heavy, we get tired, we go to sleep. And then in the middle of the night, that is the pitta time. So if you're not asleep, which you should be by midnight or by 10 p.m., we can see after 10 p.m. everyone gets hungry. We get the midnight crunchies, right? So, because there's fire that time. And what that fire does, we'll tell you later as well. And then from 2 o'clock approximately until sunrise, that's the vata time. This is the night. It's much more soft. It's much lighter in the morning. We don't sleep as deeply in the morning as we do at other parts of the night. Because it's vata time. It's much easier to wake up just before sunrise than after sunrise. Because before sunrise, it's the vata time. There's a lighter sleep. Isn't it wonderful how this universe is made? We have all these different cycles that are always working. You can check out my astrology videos to learn about the astrological time cycles. And you can also appreciate the inherent time cycles of the doshas, of the elements of Ayurveda. Now, let's explore every portion of this cycle in depth. Let's begin by looking at the cycle of our entire life. Our life begins with the qualities of kapha. But in particular, this is from the time of our birth until age 16. So during this time, our body grows as quickly as never again. Just think about it, kapha, right? Most of our body, it's kapha, right? It is earth and water. So this is the time when we need a lot of stability, when we need a lot of grounding. We need a lot of love and pampering. We need people that we can be attached to. This is very important. So for all children, we want to assist them. We want to recognize that at the moment, Kapha dosha is just so dominant in their life. It doesn't matter whether they're Vata kids or Pitta kids or Kapha kids. For every child, that is the Kapha time, and we want to help them and provide them a lot of stability and a good foundation. This is why children also are very susceptible to allergies. In our modern world, we can see our modern world is very Pitta, and our modern time loves Pitta people. And even from a young age, even children such young as 5, we try to drill them and we try to push them into a very competitive environment. This creates disease. Like if they have a Pitta nature, then the Pitta will go off. And if they have any other dosha, then they will get Pitta Vikriti, the Pitta will also go off. So if you are in this age, or if you are surrounded by people at this age, we want to help and honor this Kapha phase of their life and protect them. We don't need to introduce them too early to competitions, and we don't have to put so much pressure on them because it will have a negative impact on their development. Now, after about age 16, the Pitta phase starts. This is the time when we can introduce more competitiveness to other people in their life. This is the time when naturally we are ready to come out of our nest and speak up for us a little bit more. This is a great time to accomplish things in our life. Now this time is from age 16 until about age 50. And it's important for us to note that as we're coming closer to this age of 50, to this mid-time of our life, after age 50, Pitta is over, okay? So we go into this phase, we act, we transform, we achieve, and we have to be prepared that this is not the all and all of life. There is a time to let go of this. But this is the time when we want to accomplish our career, we want to work hard for our family, we want to learn and study as much as we can. It's a beautiful time for this. At the same time, we want to recognize too much of this during this Pitta time as well. It can upset our Pitta dosha. Pitta is balanced by softness, by cool foods, by relaxing. So also during this Pitta phase, it's important that we can have a lot of care and soothing, something that can soothe us. Particularly if we are in a very Pitta career, particularly if we are Pitta Prakriti, and maybe if we are in the Pitta season as well, during the Pitta time of life, oh gosh, like make sure you can relax and soothe yourself. So also Pitta disorders are much more likely during this time of our life. And last, we have the Vata phase. Old age has a lot of qualities of Vata dosha. Many of us, we get thinner, or we get drier, the joints, they start aching, our sleep gets more and more shallow. This is because of the qualities of Vata. So it's much more natural, it is very natural to have an increased interest into spiritual matters and to develop a detachment from this world after age 50. We can't live our life in our 50s and 60s like we were living it when we were younger, because it is not supported by the nature, by the qualities of nature. Now we are so close to this air and space element, we can really tune in, we can go deep, we can meditate, we can retire, we can renounce. This is a beautiful time for this. But if we try to live our life like we're still 20 and we just try to enjoy and experience the senses to the fullest, that's going to cause disease, and also we will never be able to. Anyone who's younger than us, they will just be better in enjoying life, enjoying their senses, enjoying their body. So it will cause a lot of mental unrest. If in a relationship and we expect our partners in their 50s to act like they're still in their 20s, it will cause a problem. And I see that a lot. Therefore, I'm sharing this with you. Now, let's explore next the cycles in the year. We also call this Rituacharya. Ritu means the season, and Charya is the actions. How are we behaving as we go through the seasons in the year? In the same way, like we don't behave the same throughout our life, but we adjust our behavior as we move through different phases. So in the same way also, we should not behave the same throughout all the seasons of the year. Every season is asking something else from us, and every season there are different qualities that are predominant that we should balance if we want to preserve harmony. The seasons vary depending on which part of the planet you're in, so I will try to give a very general advice that will apply to all of you, whether you live in a very tropical climate or whether you live in a very dry climate, whether it's very hot or very cold, etc. In general, during the summertime, when there's a lot of sun and a lot of heat, this is the most active time of the year. The days are the longest, the nights are the shortest. It is a very masculine time. It's a very external time. This is when we can work harder. This is when we can achieve a lot of things. Because it is hot, we want to favor cool foods. And it is actually very easy. It is always the foods that are in season that are good for you. So which foods are in season in summer? Usually it's a lot of greens. A lot of greens, like silver beets, spinach, kale, even lettuce. They all grow in summer. They usually don't grow in winter, depending on where you are in the world. And this is the time when we want to have a lot of greens because they balance pitta. And then what do we have opposite? Oh, we have winter. Winter is the Vata time. So during the Vata time, we want to eat a lot of grounding foods that balance Vata. And which foods grow during this time? Pumpkins, sweet potato, most of your root vegetables, they all grow in winter. And in winter, the days are short, the nights are long. So in winter, we can sleep more. Like in summer, you can be up until 11 o'clock at night. The sun only went down at 10, so you will get away with it. While in winter, the sun goes down at 6. So can you still be up at 10 o'clock? Maybe it would be better to go to bed earlier. And to sleep a bit more, sleep an hour longer. That's absolutely fine in winter. That's why many people today, they get winter fatigue. Because it is cold and it's more restrictive, there's not much light. But people are still working, behaving like it is summer. That is causing disease, it causes problems. We also like a lot of hot foods in winter, heating foods like ginger, pepper. All these foods are very helpful. There's no salad growing in winter, right? So we don't want too many raw foods in winter. It doesn't make any sense. You'll only get sick. And then in spring season we have a lot of the sour foods that are growing, a lot of berries. Usually they get ripe in spring, like strawberries and raspberries, blueberries. They have a slightly sour taste. So we like the sour taste in spring season because it helps to melt the kapha dosha. Spring season is like a new beginning. So also spring season is an excellent time to set new intentions for the year. Many people set their intentions in December, in the 1st of January, which is winter for the Northern Hemisphere, which doesn't make any sense. Like, it was just 7 days. It was just 1 week after the winter solstice. And it is a time of constriction. It's a time of standstill. It's a time when the days are not long and everyone's setting their intentions for the new year while the energy of the universe is just so constricted. It doesn't make sense. If you want to set your intentions, better to do it during the summer solstice or even better during the spring equinox. That is a great time. This is the beginning of the season. So the key for Ritucharya, the key for respecting the seasons is to understand how the doshas are present in spring, summer, and in winter, and to eat the foods that are in season because they naturally balance us, to adjust the level of activity to the time that we are in. Also, what is very beneficial as we have these junctions of the seasons, particularly as we go from spring season into summer season, it is good to take a few days to eat a little bit simpler. We could have a khichdi cleanse. We have a video about that coming up soon. In simple language, if you're moving from spring to summer season, take 3 days and just eat simpler foods. Just eat khichdi, just eat rice and dal, with some simple spices, a little bit of ghee, a little bit of salt, some fresh coriander if you like it. And just eat that for 3 days, breakfast, lunch, dinner. It will help your body to cleanse because if you don't eat too much, then our Agni, our digestive fire, it can rest and it can leave the stomach region. It can travel to other parts of our body while we are sleeping, as we learn in a moment, and it can do the spring clean. So that is also very important. If there's change, whenever there's change, just slow down. If you're changing careers, if you're changing projects, if you're traveling, just give your body a break, let it readjust. So in the same way, if you're moving through the seasons, give it a little break. Usually as we enter deep winter and we are changing into the deep winter season, we don't fast at that time because winter already is very vata, and fasting of course also has the vata quality. But besides that, all other junction points, fasting is very excellent. So let's explore now the most important, which is how the doshas move through the day. Because every day we have this opportunity to align with nature's rhythm, and I see it again and again, how every time billions of people of the planet don't do it. And that is so unfortunate. It's such an opportunity lost. Okay, let's do it. Let me tell you a secret. Even though the day begins with kapha and ends with vata, the human day starts with vata and ends with kapha. How is that possible? Because an average day from sunrise to sunset is approximately 12 hours long, depending on the time of the year, your position in the equator, and the night as well is approximately 12 hours long. While a human day is longer. Human beings, we sleep, maybe we need about 8 hours sleep. Vata person needs the most sleep, 7 to 8 hours. Pitta person, a bit more than 7. A kapha person doesn't need that much sleep actually, maybe 6 to 7 hours. Even though they like to sleep more, yeah? So therefore the human day is much longer. And the best time to rise is during the vata time in the morning, just before the sunrise. We have the Brahma Muhurta, which starts approximately 90 minutes before sunrise. This is the excellent time to wake. Now I had one student from the UK and she was challenging me because the sun in summer in the UK, as she told me, rises at 4 o'clock. Okay, for that time of the year, we will have to be realistic, we have to be practical. But in general, most of the time for most people of the planet, if you're in a healthy state, it is good to wake up before sunrise. Why? Because before sunrise, from approximately 2 a.m. until sunrise, until 6 o'clock, we have a vata time. So air and space element is very strong. This is the time where there is movement. Movement is easier during this time. It's easy to get up. And the space element is very strong, which means a perfect time to meditate. In a different class, we'll have to speak about how all the organs recover at night, but our colon, it has its recovery portion somewhere between 4 and 6 o'clock in the morning. So therefore, the entire process of digestion, the entire process of healing, and at night, the entire process of rejuvenation, it finishes between 4 and 6 o'clock with our colon. Therefore, healthy individual, it will wake up in the morning before sunrise, and within 30 minutes, he or she will have the feeling that they would like to clear their bowel. And this is extremely important because we want to let go of the waste. We want to let go of all the foods we've digested the previous day to have a fresh start, right? We don't want to carry the food we've digested the previous day with us as you begin the day. Just think about it. Also, this time, it's an excellent time to meditate. And it is human dharma. It is the nature of a human to connect to nature. Like we like to align our body, we like to align our life with the dosha so that we can have health. And why do we like to have health? So that we can have families, be happy, make some money, sure. But we want to reflect about the deeper meaning. We want to realize our spiritual identity as different from this body. We want to connect to our source. And the best time for that is in the morning. If you've ever tried meditation and it didn't work so well, try it in the morning. The morning is the best time to meditate. If you're doing mantra japa, or if you're doing your prayer, or if you're doing pranayama and yoga, the morning time, it's a beautiful time for this. So in an ideal world, a person will wake up before sunrise and then some good Dinacarya, some good habits that we can have. We wake up and very quickly we go and we get fresh, which means we can take care of our oral hygiene. Ideally, first we scrape our tongue, then we brush our teeth. If you like, you can do some oil swishing or oil gargling. You can just use coconut oil for it, or you can mix coconut oil half with a black sesame oil half, and you can add some mint befit, some consumable mint essential oil as well. That's very, very great. And we can oil swish for 10 minutes. It's an excellent practice to ensure we have good oral hygiene. After this, ideally, we can have a bowel movement in the morning. Then we would like to shower. We want to get fresh. When we shower, we not only wash our body, but it brings sattva guna to our mind, it brings goodness to our mind. At night, when our body was cleaning itself, all the toxins have been pushed to our skin, and that is why we were sweating. So as we are in the shower, we want to get rid of that waste in the same way like we cleared our bowels. So we also want to clear all the waste on our skin in the same way like we scrape our tongue, because the tongue is the first part of our digestive tract, and at night all the toxins have been pulled on our tongue, therefore we scrape it off. When we're in the shower, we can rinse our ears a little bit. We don't have to use these things that people do, like the stick with the white cushion on it, right? We don't have to use it. It actually hurts your eardrums. If you chew properly during your meals and you sprinkle just a teeny bit of water into your ears during your shower, this is absolutely enough. Then we would like to have some water to complete this process, to also hydrate after we were not drinking anything for such a long time while sleeping. And then we want to meditate. Ideally, already in the bed, before we even set our first foot on the earth, we could have said a little prayer. Thank you so much, Mother Nature. Thank you so much, whatever form of divinity you appreciate, you connect to. You can call out for them, and you can practice a moment of gratitude. Then we can step our foot on the earth, take our shower, we have our water, and then we meditate and go a little bit deeper. It's an excellent time for this. This means that we have very well utilized this vata time of the day. Ideally, we can even move a little bit, just 10 minutes. We don't want to do any heavy exercise, but it could be a small walk, it could be some gentle yoga, it could be a little bit of pranayama. If you follow this morning routine, your day, it is going to be the best day of your life. Try it out. Please let me know in the comments how you went with it. Then, after sunrise, the kapha time of the day will begin. So this is the time when we want to eat breakfast, because we're building the foundation for the day. And what kind of breakfast do we want to have? We want to have a breakfast that is light, because kapha is naturally heavy. So if we eat a heavy meal during this time, heavy plus heavy means we're going to feel so heavy. I tell you, I used to be a monk. I was a brahmachari. I was a monk for 5 years. And sometimes we would get invited by different families and they would feed us nice foods, because they loved us, and also maybe because they thought that they would get free of all their karma by feeding us their food. So they would ensure that we eat so much. And yeah, if I would do that as a monk, if I would eat so much, so heavy during the kapha time in the morning, then my whole day is gone, because it is just heavy. So we want to eat light food. Again, this is the time when we can do some movement. We don't want to exercise at least 1 hour after eating our breakfast, but a little bit later, maybe 1 or 2 hours after our breakfast, this would be the excellent time if you're doing any type of exercise. This is great. The body is not as warm as in the evening, but it is the kapha time. We do have a lot of energy and we're setting a good foundation for the day. Exercise in Ayurveda is not like exercise do these days. It is not like going to the gym and just having so much pain in our body. The saying no pain, no gain doesn't apply to Ayurveda. Exercise, it should be fun, it should be joyous, and yeah, it should be like this. We should feel energized and refreshed afterwards. Also, this is the time when we would like to start our work. It's kapha time. We're starting. At about 10 o'clock until 2 o'clock, we enter the pitta time of the day. So this is when we want to accomplish the greatest tasks. Respecting nature means that whatever is the most difficult to do, we do it before lunch. We do it from 10 to 12 o'clock. This is the time, the biggest problem you can solve at this time. If you're seeing clients, the hardest clients, you meet at this window. When the sun is the highest, unless it is extremely hot, that is different, but any moderate temperature until maybe 30 degrees, 30 degrees Celsius, after 12 o'clock, we want to eat our lunch. because this is the biggest task of the day. For our body, eating and digesting a lunch, the heaviest meal, it's a big thing. Any food that we eat at 12 o'clock, it's not going to make us fat. It's not going to make us accumulate extra weight, because this is the time when Agni is so strong. In astrology, we have Surya Dev, which is the sun planet, and the Adi Devata of the sun is Agni. So our digestive fire, there's this relationship between the sun as a planet and the fire in our stomach. And therefore, as the sun rises and gets stronger and stronger, also hunger rises. So we would like to have a good sized lunch at this time. This is where we get all of our nutrition. So all 6 tastes should be on our plate at this time. We don't want to eat much later, because if we miss this pitta window, if we're eating at like 1:30 or 2 o'clock, we just missed 4 hours of the pitta time. We won't be able to digest as much as we could have done otherwise. It is good to eat breakfast, because why is it called breakfast? Because breakfast means we're breaking the fast of the night. And by breaking the fast, we are activating our metabolism, and we're also preparing our body for lunch later. So if lunch would be your first meal and you did miss out on breakfast, your body is just getting ready. And that also could limit you from completely absorbing all the nutrients. Remember the campfire analogy. In the morning, the campfire, it's very dim, it's very small. Like if you left a fire on overnight and you come to it in the morning, there's just a small flame left. You don't want to throw in the biggest chunk early in the morning. You put some small kindlings first and then you put the chunk later. So when having your breakfast, think light, and also think you're gonna have a lunch later. After lunch, we want to relax. We don't want any difficult tasks, no physical work. Hard work after meals, I think, is the #1 cause of heart attacks in the United States. Don't quote me on this one, but we don't want to eat heavy. We don't want to work heavy after eating heavy. It's a big problem. It's too much. It's too much of a challenge for our body. So we want to relax. You can go for a walk. If you have any meetings, maybe you can just have a call and then walk after lunch. That will help this whole process of digestion. Also, don't eat lunch in a stressful environment. If you can, leave the office or go to a designated place where you can just relax. After 2 o'clock, pitta time comes to a close. We enter the vata time of the day, the last part of the day. So this is the time when the work ideally should be a bit lighter. Now is the time when we are the most creative. You can ideally do something creative, follow hobbies, hang out with friends. Dinner should be had at this time before the sun sets. Dinner, I mean, ideally we shouldn't talk too much while eating, but life should be fun, Ayurveda should be fun. So if you're having dinner with your family, then now this is the time when we connect and we share and we reflect on the day. Again, vata, similar to vata in the morning, vata in the afternoon, at the end of the day, similar to the end of the night, is a time for reflection. So to reflect, how was this day? We can share our experience with others, friends and family. That means we're respecting vata time. Also, we want to appreciate that the sun is setting. So during vata time at dinner, as the sun sets, we want to start speaking a bit softer. We want to be a little bit slower. We don't want to have any like pitta type conversations at the dinner table. We don't want to attack anyone during this time. We don't want to challenge anyone during this time. It's vata time. We want to slow down, a bit of humor. And then as the sun sets, we have kapha time. So kapha time, it's again a heavy time. After sunset, our digestion will slow down. We will not be able to digest foods in the same way like we were able to digest them earlier. We don't want to eat ideally anything, or at least not too heavy at this time. If you want to eat something after sunset, the best thing to have is milk. Organic milk, ahimsa milk with happy cows, okay? And if you have milk, we don't have it cold, you have it hot, you put some turmeric inside. That we can have. But other foods, especially grains, they don't digest well. I promise you, if you're that person and you're having pizza or pasta or cheese, like heavy grains, beans, and you have them after the sun is down, after the sun sets, I know how you're going to feel afterwards. You feel really tired and cloudy, especially if you've been up for a long time, because this is not the time anymore. Now we eat a bit lighter. We want to maybe read a book, we want to avoid artificial lights, the sun has set. We really want to prepare ourselves to sleep. We want to go to bed before Pitta time at 10 o'clock. So we can have a hot shower, we can do some Abhyaṅga and massage our bodies with oil, we can use black sesame oil or Mahanarayan oil, works for most constitutions. We want to exchange some sweetness and some love and care with our family members. This means respecting Kapha time. If you're after sunset on bright screens, which are bringing in, again, this Pitta energy, this fiery nature, it will be harder to sleep. So before going to bed for at least an hour, we would like to reduce electronics and artificial lights. We want to be deep asleep by 10 o'clock. Because after 10 p.m., Pitta time starts again. And this Pitta time is the most wonderful time. It is so magical what happens between 10 p.m. and 2 a.m. This is the time when our body recovers and rejuvenates. This is the opportunity when we can actually get younger. This is the opportunity when we really can heal. But this can only happen if we did not eat a heavy meal before. This can only happen if our stomach is empty by the time we go to sleep. And it can only happen if we sleep before 10 o'clock. Because it doesn't matter when you go to bed, but 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. is the Pitta time. So if our stomach is empty, and if we are asleep, Agni, our digestive fire, the fire in our body, it can leave the stomach region and it can go to all the parts of our body and it can transform them, it can heal them, it will eat up toxins, it will reduce inflammation. There's this term that got so popular in the modern scientific community. It is called autophagy. Autophagy means the body is self-eating. The body is eating up itself. This is often connected to intermittent fasting. Now, we are all fasting intermittently at night. And even this short window, let's say we ate dinner at 6 o'clock, our breakfast will be at 7. Even the short window of these 10 hours, 12 hours at night, particular in this time from 10 p.m. to 2 a.m., this is the best window for autophagy. This is the best window where the body can eat up itself and reduce toxins. If you're a person, if you're over 40 and you're getting this kind of brain fog and you start forgetting things, even if you're in your 30s, then this is the time. This is a message of your body that there's too much armor, there's too much toxic buildup, and that you should slow down earlier. You should go to bed a bit earlier. Many of my clients, especially, I have a lot of women CEOs, and they sleep at 11, they sleep at 12, and they're so fatigued and they're so burned out. And I just ask them, hey, can you sleep an hour earlier? Can you sleep maybe another hour? Can you make it 2? Can you sleep at 10 o'clock? And just this one simple practice, it solves so many issues. And this is what people used to do for thousands of years. It is a modern disease because of artificial lifestyle and electronics that we're up so late. Whatever you get done at 10 p.m., you could do so much better at 10 a.m. Many people feel it really good, like after 10 o'clock to get things done, because there's this fire time. But this fire is not meant for your work. This fire is meant for digesting your day and just digesting all these toxins. This is the time when your fire is digesting all your thoughts and experiences, when everything in your short-term memory gets stored in your long-term memory. If you're trying to remember Sanskrit or any language or anything, during the day it's just in your short-term memory. But then at night, if you sleep properly, it goes into your long-term memory. If you want a good memory, follow this one advice. And what happens if you don't? If you don't listen to me and you're up at 10 p.m. and then you eat another meal at 10, or even you eat pasta at 8 p.m. or pizza at 9, then the next morning you wake up and you won't feel fresh, you still feel tired. You wake up and you're like, you burp and you're like, smells like, tastes like pizza, and you're like, oh, that pizza didn't get digested. And also you feel like these thoughts and experience from my last day, they're not digested. I woke up, but I'm still yesterday. We don't want that. We want to be fresh. So this is what happens at the Pitta time at night. And now you remember, now you understand why it is so important that we wake up early the next morning. Because if we wake up early during the Vata time, if we see the sunrise with our eyes, then our body, it will adjust and we will go to sleep earlier. It is very natural for the body. 14 to 16 hours after we woke up, we naturally get tired. When we see the sunrise, our body notices it. And we will get tired at the right time. So if you want to sleep at Pitta time and make the most out of this window and respect Agni, respect Pitta dosha, we rise at Vata time. We understand why we have to clean ourselves so much in the morning, because our body did clean itself at night and we just wanted to complete that cleaning process. Thank you so much for listening all the way until here. I really appreciate your attention. If you've watched all the 6 lessons and this one to the end, drop me something in the comments. I would love to hear from you. Any question, any insights. If you've been trying this for years and you're living your best life, please let me know. If this was an advice that saved you thousands of dollars in medical bills, please write me and let me know. Always happy to help out. In our next lesson, we're going to explore samprapti, which is pathogenesis, which is how disease gets created in our body and what happens if you don't choose to follow, to listen to me. And I'm not one to put you down. I'm not trying to curse anyone, but I just want to inform you of the facts and how your body works. So if we ignore Dinacarya, if we ignore the signs of the tastes, if we are not respecting our constitution and ignoring our digestion, etc., in the next lesson we will hear how disease progressed. And if you have any sickness in your body, this video is also for you, because it will help you to understand which stage you're at and what we can do to address and reverse it. Namaskar. All my blessings out to you. Thank you.